selected as the strategic partner for Smart Dubai, tasked with building the centralized smart city platform, which is going to be the digital backbone for all the smart services that are going to be built in Dubai. This platform is a combination of a platform that provides IT services for shared services for all the city, like infrastructure service, platform service, storage, cloud, etc., as well as a platform to aggregate all the data from the different entities in the government. So what we have done here is we're standing up the platform as we speak. We have collected already data from different entities, from the Dubai Tourism Authority, from RTA, from DIWA, as well as data from Lu coming from the network. And we have built some dashboards to showcase the type of applications we will be able to do when the platform is finished. So one of the examples we have downstairs is about how all this data, once aggregated into a single place, can actually help you understand how tourists flow within the city. And this is very important for a city like Dubai, where tourism is one of the main sources of income for the city, and actually one of the fastest growing industries. So with this, the ability we have of capturing heterogeneous data sources and crunching the data and producing analytics, we are capable of on understanding what are the nationalities of the tourists that come into the city, where they go, how they shop, where they move around, things like that, which is very valuable for the city to plan better for the tourists. You might remember last year in 2015, Sheikh Mohammed announced the Open Data Law. This is very unique. I think it's the only country in the Middle East that has such a comprehensive law, which basically determines how data has to be shared, which shape, form, how privacy is respected, which data is open, can be shared with everyone, which data can be shared only across government entities but not with the public service, where the kind of like the master data records for some data, like the Emirates ID is going to be sitting in one place, so all the agencies can access Emirates ID information from one place, etc. This, as far as I know, it doesn't exist anywhere in the world. I don't think that there's any other country that has built this. They have a person, Yunus Al Nasser, whose title is Chief Data Officer of Dubai, that is tasked basically with categorizing all this data so we can then use it for services. You've probably heard about Bitcoin. Yeah. So Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that became very popular a few years ago because it basically allows, it's a cryptocurrency, it's a digital currency that allows for transactions to be tracked in a secure way, completely decentralized. So if you think about how currency today gets tracked, is every bank has like a ledger of the transactions and the controls within the ledger. This actually creates a tracking mechanism from how all these transactions happen, and is done in a very traditional way, very centralized, monolithic, etc. So what Bitcoin innovated in was actually this cryptocurrency that was completely decentralized. So there's no central entity that controls the transactions. Everyone that's part of the network, has a copy of the ledger and is completely distributed. And to verify that the ledger is accurate, you need consensus across the different people participating. This is very revolutionary. It was started being used for the wrong reasons, to you should basically buy illegal things, etc., etc. But the main innovation was not Bitcoin itself, but the underlying technology, which is what blockchain is, that allow for this kind of highly secure, decentralized, transaction across multiple nodes. Now, what has happened since Bitcoin is that the underlying technology blockchain has started to become very popular as a way to basically track digital transactions. And you can, go beyond just currency, and you can think of any transaction that happens in the government. For instance, when you come to the country, you have to submit your landlord contract and create a jari, and you have to get your Emirates ID, and you have to submit your your university records. And so these are all things that today happen primarily using paper, using centralized places where you do this. If you go to another place, you have to do it again. So if I have my DIWA bill, then I have to go and do and submit a DIWA bill to do, because Do doesn't have access to a DIWA bill to verify where I live. So it's not very modern. So what Dubai has done is they've created something called the Blockchain Council, which is a set of companies, Do among them, that has started to look at how this blockchain technology will allow for like a full digitization of the country, where once you have your DIWA bill and your DIWA bill is on this distributed network, then anyone can securely access the DIWA bill and know that the DIWA bill hasn't been tampered or anything. So this will allow for really like a full digital workflow across government entities, which is very unique. What happened a couple of weeks ago is Sheikh Mohammed announced by 2020 he wants all the Dubai government documents to be in blockchain, which meaning they have to be digitized and they have to be stored in a distributed fashion and accessible by everyone. So to get there to 2020, what we're doing now is we're launching a number of pilots in specific domains to basically validate the technology, how do we build it, how do we use it, etc. So Do is participating in 3 pilots. One of them is being led by us, which is for electronic health records. This is one of the main problems. So today your health records are in paper, with X-rays, it's not digitized. If you go to a hospital and they have a health record saying you have an allergy to some medicine, you go to another hospital, they don't have access to that health record, etc., etc. So by digitizing all health records and putting them in this blockchain technology, so it can be shared and distributed across all the hospitals, you can actually fully digitize the health system. And then we're also looking at shipping manifests. So here Dubai is a huge port between Dubai, Jebel Ali, and every time there is a good being shipped from, let's say, India to Spain through Dubai, there's a huge paper trail that happens in this flow, right? And we're trying to digitize this and make sure that all these records are stored in a secure way and distributed, so every actor in the value chain that needs to pick up these documents to make sure the good goes from one place to another, they have access to it in a secure way. So blockchain is supposed to be something that a lot of people say is very revolutionary. It's kind of like the next layer on top of the internet to be able to do a lot of things that today are very complicated or very insecure.
Really
Much better, simplifying things. We're pushing a lot of things on the IoT front. One of the other solutions we are announcing is fleet management. We have announced a deal with a company called Cemex, which is a cement producer and distributor. They have thousands of trucks that are moving around, and that what we have done is we've put an IoT solution in each of the trucks, so we're able to in real time monitor where all the fleet of all these trucks is. And of course, besides the issue of efficiency and being able to optimize the routes, etc., we have also noticed, this is what we are announcing, that we can actually reduce the amount of traffic accidents, because the guys know that you're monitoring them, you know exactly which speed they're going, whether they're braking very harshly or not. And so these technologies have a lot of impact, even in things like health. One of the challenges is security, right? So the city of Dubai has taken the decision to go into a very comprehensive, centralized way of building things, right? There is a central platform, which is the one that we're building, where all the data will be put there, where all the services will be built off, and then many of these services are about taking physical infrastructure, let's say like traffic lights or irrigation systems, and putting sensors and connecting them to the internet, right? So this has two challenges. On one side, before, if a hacker hacks into a system, he hacks into whatever is in digital. But today, if they hack into a system, they can take control of the traffic lights, because the traffic lights now are connected to the internet. So you have to be more careful about security, because the potential implications of someone hacking into this go beyond the digital realm into the physical realm. And the second is, by having a centralized place, you have also a single point of failure, right? So if someone hacks there, they get access to everything. So security has been something we put a lot of focus on the project together with the government, to try to make sure it's built in from the design from the very beginning at each layer of the platform, to make sure that we benefit from all the advantages of having a centralized, comprehensive system without any of the potential risks that we have.
Makes sense.